In the 1950s, one of the most groundbreaking studies were done, and a few psychologists put a lever inside a cage, and what the lever would do when pressed by rats is deliver direct brain stimulation through deeply implanted electrodes in the rats, okay? Now, what they found is that these rats would thousands of times every hour press the lever, press the lever, press the lever, hit of dopamine, hit of dopamine, hit of dopamine, and they're content, they're happy. They wanted to push the testing a bit more, and they wanted to see, okay, so how much is this hit of dopamine actually going to impact the rats? Like how much does it actually mean to them? Okay, so what they found is if they put food next to this lever, would the rat prefer the food when it's hungry, or would it prefer pressing the lever? They found that the rats would rather press this lever for a quick hit of dopamine over eating. Okay, they would put mats down that would electrocute the rats if they walked through it before they could reach the lever. The rats would walk through the electric mats, get electrocuted to press the lever and get this deep brain stimulation. Okay, now you may be saying to me, what does this have to do with me? I'm not a rat. I'm not getting electrocuted before I press a lever to give me deep brain stimulation. No, but arguably what us humans are doing is actually worse. Okay, most humans today are smoking cigarettes every day, which is known to give you cancer and kill you. Okay, they're pumping heroin, actual poison into your body day by day. Because why? Because it releases dopamine. You are scrolling through your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, your Snapchat, okay? These apps are literally designed to keep you on there as long as possible. There is a team of geniuses in the background of all these apps that have designed it to keep you there as long as possible by giving you dopamine hits, releasing dopamine in your brain the longer that you stay on these apps. Now, why do they do this? Because the longer they can keep you on the app, the more money they make from advertisers, okay? So advertisers will pay them to put an ad up on their site. Now, the longer that you stay on these apps, the more ads they can show you, therefore the higher of a chance it is that they get that the advertiser gets a return on investment, okay? This is their literal business model, because you don't need to pay for any of these apps, right? So how do they make their money? Well, that's it. We need to be very, very careful where we release dopamine. It is built into our system. It's a reward system now. We wake up, we go on Instagram, we scroll through the feed, we see people's posts, we watch stories, or we post things hoping to get a reaction or hoping for someone specific to see it. Because you are releasing dopamine through these unhealthy activities, through these unhealthy, unproductive things, what's happening is you don't require dopamine from a healthy source. Our animal brain is very simple. We do things that feel good, and things that feel good release dopamine. Our animal brain doesn't actually care what's productive. It doesn't actually care about what's healthy. Hence why you'll see people who seem very intelligent, very logical, but they'll smoke. They'll eat unhealthy food. They won't have productive days. Why? Because their animal brain is looking for the quickest hit of dopamine. And the second it gets that, it's happy. By cutting out all your quick fixes for dopamine, things like smoking, eating unhealthy food, scrolling through your Instagram feed, posting in order to get certain reactions, doing all of these different things, and you cut this out of your routine, okay, your brain is now going to lack dopamine, and you can then gain dopamine by doing productive things, right? Like listening to podcasts, working out, eating healthy, reading a book. By stopping your brain from getting dopamine from unhealthy tasks, your brain is going to need to get dopamine from somewhere. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be motivated, and you're not going to be productive, okay? So stop doing the unproductive things, force your brain to get dopamine from productive things, and your brain will slowly get used to the reward system of feeling happy from doing productive things. Otherwise, your animal brain is instantly going to tell you to find the quickest hit of dopamine, which is nearly always unproductive things. Guys, could you sit there working for 24 hours and being productive? No. But could you binge watch a Netflix series for 24 hours? Yes. Now, why is that? Because the logical, practical side of our brain, which is telling us to be productive, has a different level of energy, a different level of drive to our animal brain. Our animal brain is trying to get the quickest hit of dopamine, which is why people can binge watch series for 24 hours. They can game for 24 hours. They can pump literal poison and drugs into their body to feel happy. Okay? If only you could take that same motivation, that same drive into doing productive things. You can, okay? All you have to do is anything that is unhealthy that releases dopamine in your day-to-day routine, cut it out. Cut it out, and this drains your brain from having dopamine from unproductive things, which means you are forced to get it elsewhere. And then by starting to do productive things like working out, meditating, reading, journaling, running, exercising, working on your business, watching interviews of CEOs and understanding why they're as successful as they are, what you slowly start to do is train your brain to get dopamine from productive things as opposed to unproductive things, okay? And this is how you override your animal instinct of looking for the quickest hit of dopamine, regardless of how productive or happy that makes you. Because let's be honest, guys, most people are unhappy today. Okay, you may say to me, Rax, why do we have to go on a dopamine diet? Why can't we just be happy and, scroll through our Instagram feed and do all these things that make us happy? Because it doesn't make you happy. That's why you can't do it. It doesn't make you happy. Look around you today and tell me if most of the people around you today are happy or unhappy. Because I'm going to tell you now, the people I see are unhappy. They are unhappy. So I'm starting my dopamine detox from today. This is a journey that I'm about to take. Okay, I'm going to cut my contact with social media. I'm going to stop gaining dopamine from eating unhealthy foods. I'm going to cut everything unproductive I do out and force myself to only release dopamine from productive activities. Okay, playing chess, reading, working out, watching interviews of CEOs. These are things I already do, but I'm more likely to do more of it if I'm lacking dopamine from other unproductive sources. So come on this journey with me. Let's do it together. All right, let's be productive together. Let's hit our goals together. I know we don't know each other in person, but we can virtually celebrate the mutual attainment of our goals.